I made a song only using Pigments 6. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to Freebeat. Today's patron shoutout goes to Shades7768. Thank you so very much for the support. Let's get started. If you don't know what Arturia's Pigments is, it's, in their own words, an all-in-one software synthesizer for modern producers, blending 6 cutting-edge synthesis engines, a color-coded interface, effortless drag-and-drop modulation, premium effects, and generative sequencing. In my words, I'd sum it up pretty much as a do-it-all synth plugin. If there's a sound that you're after, I'd be willing to bet that Pigments can make it. Now, I've actually been meaning to get my hands on Pigments for a while. It's just been one of those things that I kept putting off. So when Arturia reached out to me a few weeks ago asking if I'd like to check out Pigments, including the new update to Pigments 6, I of course said yes. So a huge shout out to Arturia for providing me with a copy of Pigments. Really quick, a note on pricing. Pigment sells for $199 and the update to Pigment 6 is free for all users. Now, I'm not much of a sound design guy. I'd rather be a bit more practical, but I'll still give you a basic look at the Pigments interface, which on the surface here is pretty simple. You've got your two synth engines here, Engine 1 and Engine 2. And on these engines, you can choose from analog, wavetable, sample, harmonic, and new to Pigment 6, modal. Each of these then have their own respective parameters. So if we switch this one to wavetable, you'll see all the parameters change. You also have the utility engine over here offering you parameters for things like noise. Next, you'll find the filter section, which offers a variety of different filter types to choose from. Aside from that, it's a filter section, so you get 2 filters here and they work as expected. From there, you'll find the modulation section down here with an absolute boatload of routing options. And I really like how easy it is to route something from source to destination. You simply just grab it and drag it to whatever you want to modulate and drop it in there. And then you adjust the depth with these wheels down here. Pretty cool. And then below the modulation options, we have the parameters for things like the keyboard here, where we can transpose it, adjust the glide, the voicing, our envelope section, LFOs, and then there's also a pretty robust effects section as well as a pretty cool sequencer. However, I have not really used either of these options outside of one of the effects, and it's an effect that was just added for Pigment 6, and that's the Vocoder. We'll touch on that in just a minute. First, I want to address the title of the video. So every month, over on my Patron-exclusive Discord server, I run a different music-related challenge. And the challenge for this month, January, was to choose a sample from last month's challenge, provided by a different patron, and then make a song with it. So I chose to use this sample from my patron Sadiq Cat. As you can hear, it's some basic mouth percussion. I knew I wanted to incorporate Pigments into my track because I had just gotten my hands on it, and since the Vocoder effect was a new addition, I decided to use that. So I loaded the sample into the sample engine here within Pigments, then added the Vocoder effect right here, and after a few minutes of experimentation, I came up with this sound. To me, the sound is very hi-hat-esque, so I started playing around with different rhythms that I could get out of it, and after sequencing, this was the rhythm that I settled on, which wound up being the catalyst for the whole song. I decided to then load up another instance of Pigments, which wound up being this plucky sound right here. After that, I just kept loading up new instances of Pigments every time I wanted to add a new melodic element into the song, and eventually I decided that Pigments would be the only synth that I used in the entire piece of music. Now, it should be noted that some users have experienced high CPU usage with Pigments, but I did not have any issues, and for reference, I am on an Apple M4 Pro CPU, so your results may vary. For most of these sounds here, I just used stock presets, just barely tweaking filters or amp envelopes when I felt the need to do so. However, one thing that I did mess with was adding the Vocoder effect to some existing presets. Take the preset Android, for example. If I go in and disable the Vocoder, you can hear what it sounds like before I added the vocoder. That makes sense. That's a great sentence. Who wrote this script? Anyway, here's what this sounds like without the vocoder. Now we'll go and add the vocoder back in, and this bass sound is going to take on a whole new characteristic. Here's a listen. It just brings it to life in a whole new way. It adds this rhythmic element that was just completely absent before. So I did the same thing with this solo here. So I recorded a solo using this sound. Then I went in and added the vocoder effect to it and sent this audio, which is just me doing some horrible mouth noises, into the vocoder, and then kind of dialed it into a really subtle effect. I won't play it for you now, but you'll hear it in the solo when I play you the full track. You're also going to hear a kick drum and a snare drum in this track, which are both also Pigments presets. You could also easily design your own drum sounds, but I happen to like both of these sounds a lot already. The snare in particular is not something that I feel like I'd normally make or use, so it was a lot of fun to work with. Now, outside of Pigments, the only other plugins that I really used were a little bit of Transit 2 from Baby Audio for some effects, and then I did use iZotope's Ozone for a very rushed master job on the master track, and that's it. So without further ado, here's the full track. Enjoy. So without any further ado, here's the full track. Enjoy. Remember, there were no samples in that song, and the only synth I used in the whole thing was Pigment 6. So if you've been looking for a powerful all-in-one software synthesizer, I can absolutely recommend Pigment 6, and if you already own Pigments and haven't upgraded yet, it's definitely time to do so. The vocoder alone is worth the upgrade. I mean, the upgrade's free, so it's all worth it, but the vocoder is just fantastic. I've been having such a blast with it, and there are a lot more features that I didn't even cover here today and haven't even explored myself yet. So I do hope you found this video informative or at least entertaining. If you did, be sure to leave a like on it. If not, you can always leave a dislike. That's okay too. Doesn't hurt my feelings, just makes me try that much harder next time. Either way, be sure to hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell. Thank you all so very much for being here. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.